Hi, this is Young Broadcasters. I'm Christian Coloma, and the first question is for Rex. What current artists do you listen to on your playlist, like on your iPod?
I don't own an iPod. I'm kind of analog. I'm just starting to get into like Twitter, Facebook, and all that. But I do have an iTunes, and I listen to like Big Crit, Kendrick Lamar. I listen to more artists that have a message.
Music could be more than entertainment, and especially with hip hop because it's a narrative. Someone's telling you a story, speaking to you. I like to be able to, grasp bigger concepts and find out about other people's perspectives through the music. And that's something that's really important towards me, and that's why I gravitate to those sort of artists. Some other music I listen to a lot of soul and funk from like the 60s and the 70s, and that helps me create the music that I do, because that's really the core for hip hop, is that sort of music. So I'll listen to that and kind of get the vibe and then make my own music, that it's really, part of what hip hop's all about. And, that's a lot of what I listen to is contemporary stuff and some older music, just to, give me a lot of spices to work with.
My name's Cornelius, and I'm from Young Broadcasters, and my question is, why are curse words in rap songs?
It's expression. I think they're necessary, quite honestly. I don't think you should take individuals' liberties, their rights, to speak freely as they want to speak. I know it can be a tough line drawn, because I have children myself, and I don't want my kids listening to certain music that may degrade women or speaks in a light that's kind of negatively, using certain words. But music is expression, and we can't take away anybody's liberty to utilize those kind of words in their music. So I personally do. I feel when I'm passionate about something, I do use words that kind of fit the story I'm trying to convey and trying to tell. So I don't think you can take those words out of the music.
Hip hop, the word choice is pretty much how people speak anyways. And you hear the cursing in the music because that's how people talk amongst each other. Granted, it could be a little extreme and degradatory in certain circumstances, especially how women are talked about, and that is truly unfortunate. But the reality is this is how our society is, and this is how we talk amongst each other, and it comes out in the music. It's a real reflection of our society. So as long as we're still cursing, we're going to hear it in our music, unfortunately. So to really clean that up would take a big group effort to say, hey, we need to speak with more respect and things of that nature. So as long as people are using those sort of words, we're going to hear it in the music.
My name is Elmer. I'm from YBA. My question is, how do you define what is rap versus hip hop?
It basically goes back to what we were saying before. If you're saying something profound and doing something a little bit more than the average, I would put you more in the hip hop category. Rap to me is almost like fast food. It's quick, it's disposable. It fills a need for that time. It's more escapism. Whereas hip hop, I think, is something that can be used as a tool to educate, and can be used in a lot more ways than just rap music, which is something you could just groove to and dance and things of that nature. I feel like hip hop has a lot more to it, and has a social responsibility to it, where we touch on a lot of different subjects that you wouldn't hear in a commercial rap song that you would hear on the radio or something.
I feel KRS-One put it best with rap is something you do, hip hop is something you live. Like, it's a culture. Hip hop is something we believe strongly in. It's something that we profess to do. It's the rapping, the DJing, the production, the clothes that we wear, the styles of the city. I think that's what hip hop embodies. Rap is just rap. Back when old griots were like kicking game, talking on the streets, they were rapping. Back in the 70s and even in the 60s, people were talking on the street, and you had a sly way of talking. It was just the way you carry yourself. And I think rap is embodied in that. But I think hip hop is the entire culture of it.
I'm from Young Broadcaster, and I have a question for y'all. Have y'all ever used your music to send a message?
Definitely. I got songs that, like I said, I got kids, so I got this one song in particular called Isaiah. That's my son's name, the oldest. And it basically is talking to him now at the age, well, when I wrote it, he was about 6 years old. And I was basically trying to say in that song, like, 10 years from now, he looks back and listens to the record, because I won't let him listen to my music right now. But when he gets older, he's going to be able to look at the stories that I was telling then and kind of understand more about his father, but also understand about the environment I was living in, and the environment that he's growing up in. So I feel like that's a strong record with a message. Numonics and I have an album called Rebelutionary, and the whole project is coming out July 24th, and it's a constant message throughout the entire album. It's political. It's socially aware. It just speaks to the youth. It speaks to the older heads who want hip hop to return to its essence.
Me personally, I always want to make my music to speak to people and to be something more than just a regular song. I have a great responsibility myself that I want to express how I feel and what I see wrong in the world, and hopefully people can gravitate towards that and want to do something themselves. I realize as an artist, I'm expressing myself, and I want to do it in a way that will impact the world positively and help to just basically open people's minds.
Sad to know that we're in a country that's so far behind other countries when it comes to stuff like healthcare. So I talk about those issues. I talk about, again, things that have to do with my children being raised in an environment that's violent. I'm from Massachusetts. I'm from Lawrence, Massachusetts. It's not the best community. I walked the streets of Roxbury and Dorchester growing up, so I know what it's like out there. I stay in Florida now, and it's the same. It's the same globally. So these are the reasons why we speak out, and I write about the things that I write about, because us looking like we look and being in certain environments, it's harder on us already. The stigma is placed on us already. So it's important for us to speak out.
How do you feel about the N-word people use in rap music?
I personally use it myself. It's very touchy. We just kind of flipped everything. We were gonna be, we got riotous, we got very revolutionary and ready to fight. And I feel like with that word, we tried to change the complete meaning behind the N-word. The N-word was utilized to mean the most derogatory thing you can mean about a black person. But when we take the word and we say it with love and adoration for our brothers, it's real. I think the words lost all meaning in regards to how it's used today, as opposed to when it was really a big topic in the 90s, late 90s. I really think it's lost some of its luster and effect the way it did, the way it had during the civil rights movement and times prior to that. I just don't think it has the same sting. So we use it as a term of affection. That's my homie, that's my brother, same way.
It's really a reflection of how people talk, and that's why you're going to see it in there. Me personally, I'm against it. I don't have a problem with somebody using it. I understand why they would, to take away the stigma. At the end of the day, it's seen as a derogatory term, and that's why I wouldn't be one to use it as a Jew. I'm technically a minority as well, and they have bad words for us, and I wouldn't want to be called that ever, or use it as a term of brevity. But I understand why you'd want to remove that stigma and take away the power that these people have, when they use it as a negative thing. Because if the word doesn't have the meaning that it does when they say it to try to make you feel bad, it's not going to have the same sort of effect. So there is a positive aspect of how hip-hop has used it for that purpose, but it's something that if you're comfortable with it, if it doesn't make you feel bad, then there's not an issue with using it. It's just a word. A word only has meaning if you give it meaning. Inspirations? For me, I've been listening to hip-hop since about 1989. I was 5 or 6 when I bought a Naughty by Nature CD, and I've always been really in love with the music, and guys like DJ Premier and Pete Rock, and more contemporary people like Just Blaze or Kanye West or the Heatmakers. Those are guys that really influenced me, because what they did was they took forgotten songs and reinvented them, and really provided the backdrop for the golden age of hip hop when it became very popular and mainstream. And there was a reason for that, because the music was so good. So producers like that is what really influenced me, and that's you can really hear it in my music. And like guys like Premier and Pete Rock were really revolutionary with that, with what the techniques they used and the sounds that they did. So that's really what defined my sound as a producer, as a beat maker in hip hop.
I feel it's lonely at the top, but I'm reaching for the top because I hate it in the bottom where I see my people rock. My son got trouble breathing and I'm not trying to leave him because I need him, but I got to get to work, get the papers just to feed him. Stop making up excuses to my wife when I get caught cheating. I'm reaching, but I'm thinking we can make it work. Feel the worst when I ignore mama's pleas to get to church. Spend my first months rent on a half a hand in the lottery, trying to drown myself in sorrow instead of escaping poverty, blaming the economy, a fact I'm a minority while the majority lose. It's gotta be something in the water or the wind that makes us all pretend like dress up, make mistakes, won't fess up, like you gon' think lesser. But God don't judge, God do love. When I know what's up, see God through us. We your likeness, we all righteous, but thinking we righteous not enough. Sometimes we gotta be left to catch up hard in us, but in the bottom it's a race to that heavenly place amidst hell that's surrounding us. What up?